Hey everyone, welcome to another video here. This is going to be a lesson on how to play the Nickelback new song 2017, After the Rain. So we're going to go through the intro first and then the verse. We'll do a couple of different guitar parts within them. First, let's play through the intro. Okay, so now we'll go over the arpeggios for the intro and also the verse. Really, I mean, basically it's over two chords: G sharp minor, which is an E minor shape barred on the 4th fret. The notes here, or the fret numbers, starting from the low E upwards, will be 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4. Okay, now I told you those. We don't have to go over those again, really. And then for the C sharp minor, it'll be an A minor shape barred on the 4th fret. Fret numbers starting from the A string will be 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so for the G sharp minor, we have this pattern which repeats 3 times. Okay, that's 3 times of that, and then the last time we'll go. And what this is, basically, we're just going to be playing the low 3 notes muted of this G sharp minor. Okay, the downstrokes, just mute them, and then the high 2 notes together after that, and they all would play with an upstroke, but not muted, but cut off. Okay, if we were playing them muted, they would sound like this. Okay, but we're gonna go so we cut those off, and then the second half of that will be, which is just the low 2 notes muted, and then a high 2 together, and then finally the low note again. So that's that. The final time we play it, we go twice. And that's just that, basically the low 3 and then the high 2 together, just twice. And then we move to the C sharp minor chord here, and it'll be exactly the same principle. It'll be 3 times with the low 3 notes of the chord, okay, and muted, and then the top 2 together, and then the second half will be, okay, which is a low 2, high 2 together, and then the low 1. That's the second half, so it'll be, again, we do that 3 times, and then the 4th time we just go, and then it cuts off for the vocals to come in and then kind of fully introduce the song as it comes in. Okay, so the verse, exactly the same principle, except we have 2 guitars playing different things. Probably more things going on with layers, with production and everything, but let's just stick to like 2 main guitar parts here. We have the same arpeggios, so we have this pattern here. That goes 3 times with the G sharp minor, and then at the end it'll go just like we did in the intro, exactly the same. And then we do exactly the same thing here with the C sharp minor, so we'll go 3 times and then at the end. Then we do exactly the same again, back to the G sharp minor. And then finally, when we go back to the C sharp minor the second time, we'll go and then kind of a, which is like an E at the end of it. So we do the 3 times of that, then end on E. You could just kind of hit the low E. I think this is probably what it does. So we can just go. Okay, so make it easier for you, not having to move right down to the E. But you can do a full chord if you want, or you can do a low E. Kind of holds it for, I think, for that whole bar. Or a couple of bars actually, because it kind of, that the lyrics that he's singing kind of hold for a little while before we go into the chorus. Okay, so that's the first guitar part for the verse. Okay, so the second guitar part that follows along and the chords here is basically single notes played with a bit more gain. And this is kind of what I'm hearing, and we start on the 4th fret of the low E. Sounds like this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that leads into the chorus there. Okay, so the section that goes under the G sharp minor chord, we have this. 2, 3, 4. That's the first half of it. And basically that is 4th fret on the low E, slight bit of vibrato. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4th fret on the low E, then 2, 4. And then we go 4th fret on the E, 2 on the A, 4 on the E, 2 on the E, which goes like this. Okay? You can pick that up probably. 2, 3, 4. The second half is basically this. 3, 4. So the second half of that changes. We go 4th fret on the E and 2, 4, like before. And then we go, which is 4, 2, 4 on the low E and then 2 on the A. Then that leads us into the C sharp minor, where we play these notes over it. 2, 3, 4. So basically it's just one thing played twice, which is basically this. Okay? So we play the 4th fret on the A, and then we go, which is 7th on the low E, then we cut off the first note here on the 4th fret, and then play it again. So, just practice that. And then we have, which is 4, 6, 4 on the A, 7th fret on the E, okay? Then we repeat that. Then that leads us back to here. So back to the G sharp minor the way we did the first time again. Then the second time we come back to the C sharp minor, we'll do the sequence once here. Back to that note which we'll hold. Then we'll go. Okay? So we'll hold that note. 2, 3, 4. Twice on the 7th fret of the low E. And then we'll go 4th fret of the A. Then 7th fret of the A. And then 4th fret of the D. Okay? So the last part we play the C sharp minor chord with this part over, it'll sound like this all together. Okay, then that leads us into the chorus. Right, so we come to the chorus chords now, and the chorus in this song sounds pretty epic, like just a big sound. Partly due to production, partly just the chord progression after the verse, and the first chord especially sounds pretty epic. It's just a simple chord really, a couple of different ways you can play it, but basically it's going to be a B sus2, okay, then that leads into an F sharp major, and then we go to a G sharp minor, and to an E major. We can just play it like this sort of thing if we want to. Okay, that last chord does kind of linger, rings out. It's like 3 chords worth or 3 bars worth that it rings out, actually. So, as I said, the way we're going to play this, pretty much, I mean, it's hard to say if they do play it exactly this way, but it kind of works with it. As I said, a lot of production going on, but the chords, as I said, the actual notes for the B sus2 are going to be, starting from the A, it'll be 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. But we're going to just pick the low 3 notes and then the whole chord, okay? Like, well, actually, you can just pick the low 3 notes and the top 2, let them all ring out, as so. Then you can do the same with the F sharp major here, low 3 notes, then the last 3, and let them all ring out. Same with the G sharp minor. And then same with the E major. Okay, the notes for the the F sharp minor will be 2, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2. And then the notes for the G sharp minor will be 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4. And the E major, just a standard E. Everyone knows that one, I'm not going to bother telling you the notes. And yes, so the last time it rings out, on the 3rd bar worth of that ring, there is another guitar that comes in. Okay? Makes that sort of sound on the end. And then back into that kind of riff with that's basically the 2nd guitar that's playing under the verse at that point. Okay? So we have just at the end. And then that end note, we just lead back into the verse. That sort of thing, right? So if you're wondering, about that, that's kind of on there. Also, over the chorus, I can hear like a bit of an acoustic thing that's going on. We'll come to an acoustic part later. I think they're kind of adding that layer on over the chorus, in the production here, because it all adds up to a big sound, basically. What you can also do if you're playing like 2 guitars live, you can have one guitar just kind of going, something like that, just using power chords. Or even if maybe if you want to get a heavier sound, you can kind of do a power chord for the B here, but stick the low 2nd fret on the E, like a, sounds quite big. Okay, that sort of thing, just to get that kick it off with a bang, sort of. It's always good. So yeah, you can add those in over the top, and that's basically the chorus. Right, so after the chorus, we play the verse through again, and then the chorus through exactly the same as before. On the end of the 2nd chorus, we don't have those couple of notes leading out, that's the only difference. But then we come to this kind of middle 8 section. We have the acoustic guitar with the capo on the 4th fret, and basically we're just playing it's just a capoed version of the chorus chords. Sounds like this. Right, okay, so what are these chords? As I said, capo on the 4th fret, and then we're going to play firstly a G shape, so, okay, and then we go into a D shape, just a straight D, and then E minor shape, and then the last chord I do this sort of thing, okay, and then back to the G, okay. The only difference is that what we're doing in the rhythm is we're taking the first finger off the C here. Basically we're playing a C, but with a little finger on the high string here on the 7th fret. Okay, so C shape with that note on the end. And then the first finger we take off. Okay. then I go to this C add 9 chord. Okay. Okay, so you can see how that works. That's the only kind of part of that sequence that I can hear that is doing something that's not straightforward. Then we do it again. But then I take this the first finger off here, off the 2nd fret of the D string, so we get this chord. Okay. So it's like an add 9, but with, you know, a sus2 sort of thing going on. And yeah, and when that chord does ring out there, we do have an electric guitar that's kind of doing this, like an octave. That comes in before the next chorus. Okay, and that's basically just an octave with first finger on the 9th fret of the D and the little finger on the 12th fret of the B. Okay, so that's basically that. So that's that section there that I was also thinking that this is going over the normal choruses. I can kind of hear some acoustic guitar, but yeah. So I actually got the acoustic out for this, you know, trying hard here to get the sound for you. Okay, so then we have the next chorus that comes in, but there's this ending section which is basically like the chorus, except there's a couple of chords that have changed. We basically start off with the same chord, which is the B sus2. Then we go into this chord here, which is basically a D. Okay, we can put, you know, let's put in that low 5th fret on the E there to make it sound epic. Okay. Then we go into an A. You can just do power chords for this if you want. A power chord, back to the E power chord. You can either do a low E, you can put the bass note with the E with a high E here. You know, power chord. You can also do full chords if you want for the full A, if you feel like that, but I think it probably works a little better maybe with the power chords. But the first two, I mean, we need that sus2 chord in there. You can definitely hear that. And then nice and heavy there. Then just a power chord for the A and the low E. And at the end, we do finish with, it does finish on a B, but I can actually hear that it's using this chord here on the end, which is a... Okay, I can definitely hear this note in it. There, so we kind of want that, you know. So what is that chord? You might want to only play the bottom 4 notes of it. Okay, but the frets for this, it's pretty hard to play if you're not used to this chord. We're going to start with 7 on the low E, 9 on the A, then it'll be 11th fret on the D, 8th fret on the G, and then 7th fret on the high B and E. It might work better with just the low 4 notes though. So that's the N chord there, that I can hear at least. Kind of epic sounding. So, you know, those chords, they're nice to learn. You can get some good sounds out of them. But yeah, that last section there, hopefully that's done it for you. And I will see you again in another video. Have fun and subscribe if you want to hear more.